Yo, what's up, guys? We back again. We got another banger. We got J.Ness versus J.Ness. Now, up until this point, Dan was a two-time All-American and finished third the year before, while Ness was a three-time All-American, posting fifth, third, and second, all at 125. Ness had the momentum coming into this match, but beating Dennis previously in the year 2 times, which is no easy feat on the D1 scale. But let's talk about the match. You see Jason here trying to make him step a little bit more, hanging on his head. And then he has a Russian. He's going to keep him there. He's going to initiate the drag. And Jason's like, nope, we're going to just stay up. Really had the cheat codes back then with this relentless style of wrestling where they just make you keep wrestling just non-stop. It was just a flow of positions. And then you see Jason in on a single and he comes right here, and I froze it because this today would be danger position. The ref would start counting. Hit your shoulders on a 90-degree angle. So the ref would begin to count today. But back then, this wasn't a rule. The ref would just basically try to see if you were fully on your back to call a defensive pin. And so Jason, unfortunately, got nothing from this whole exchange. Ref waves it off. We're back neutral. Crazy. You see the Iowa diehards in the back like, yeah, that was not two. Yeah, good stuff, ref. Good stuff. But after all that work, nothing for Jason. So we're going to end off the first period. Nothing. 0-0. Go to second period. Dan chooses down. Jason's going to mat return. Come back to the center. Jason was a hard rider back then. He was a pretty tough rider. Most people were, good in neutral, solid in neutral. He was a tough rider. Just gonna continue to ride him, and then we get to about the minute mark. It's a little reset, and Dan's like, "Nah, I gotta come up with something." Switches his hips, gets into a scramble position, and these are 50-50 positions. So all you have to do is higher hip wins. So got his hips to turn. Jason keeps his leg, and then right here, he tried to leg pass, which he already had his hips covered. And then he tries to go for some gator roll, but at that point, Dan's got his hips covered, and he's just gonna have to bite the bullet on that. Dan rides him for the rest of the period. Jason just bites the bullet. Takes bottom. He needs at least 3, so he's gonna get an easy one. Get his one. He's gonna go immediately to neutral, and at that point, it's just guns blazing. And you're gonna see Dan take some half shots here, which is good because if you're up in the third period, you need to look like you're not stalled. And then right here, Jason takes a bad low ankle shot and then basically grazes his head against the mat and against Dan's foot, which is, basically like a little mini concussion, but you're not gonna say that. Takes a minute or so to gather himself, and he comes back to the center of the mat. He took injury time, so he has to take bottom. He gets his one, and we're back up to neutral. And you're just gonna see him throw the whole kitchen sink at him. I mean, it's your last chance to get a national championship, so how big do you want it? He went upper body a few times, but you see Dan was aware of that, so he was just playing it safe. This setup has to be top 5 in NCAA history. You see him right here with the sploosh, super duck under the hips, and he basically just bear hugs him to his back, and he gets the hold for a full 2 count. 5, 6, 4, my bad. Final score match. J.Ness wins a national championship. Now, for those of you who like happily ever afters, Dan, while not winning an NCAA championship, did go on to compete for the 2016 Olympic wrestling spot where he won it against Tony Ramos. So he didn't get the natty, but he did get an Olympic berth. So It was nice to see that for him. Um, this was a absolute banger. The last 30 seconds of this match have to be absolute top five in NCAA history. Like, comebacks in the national finals just are very rare, especially, when you're down 0-2, against somebody that was a solid wrestler. Even though Ness beat him twice, that doesn't take away from the fact that Dennis is a solid wrestler. But yeah, that's it on today's breakdown. Y'all leave it in the comments. What match should we break down next? There's a lot of them. And honestly, I'm a fan of watching stuff. It's a blast in the past for me. So y'all leave it in the comments. What should we break down next? Y'all be safe, be easy, be blessed.